And number 3 is overcoming our negative self-talk. Now again, this is huge. As I mentioned earlier, being the firstborn, I was very much a perfectionist, wanting to do everything right, so very critical of my actions. And this is a very easy way to slip into an internalized negative body image by being this way. So really, the seeds are, or our thoughts are seeds, and whatever we plant in our minds, that's what we sow. So this is extremely powerful. And one of the skills that, or practices that really overcomes this negative self-talk is a state of mindfulness, awareness, and this comes from a place of gratitude. Thank you is the perfect prayer. So when we create this mind-body connection, gratitude being the connection to our infinite selves, this creates a space of love. Because our mind, it controls our body, and our thoughts control our actions. So the state of our mind really does become a barometer of that energetic balance and harmony between our mind and body. Our heart space. So we want to be able to, our thought patterns are going to determine our energy level. So if you desire to be an expression of love, and if you desire to radiate, you need to really be honest about how you're talking to yourself. What is that internal chatter going on like? So a metaphor that I like to use is the dandelion, okay? Because just it's a perfect imagery, because some people see a dandelion as a weed. Well, in fact, most adults see dandelions as weeds, and they want to get them out of their garden, like their yard. However, me doing the home child care for so many years, you know, the child would clutch a fist of dandelions and bring it over, and it'd be like the first bouquet that they gave you. And so I see, like, I just smile when I see dandelions. They're little bright yellow, sunny. I just love them. I love the color of them. I love everything about dandelions. So, and they're resilient, and I love that about dandelions too. So you can shift your thought process to look at it in a more positive way and see something in a different way. It's up to your mind how you decide to perceive it. And then, of course, you know, when I think of dandelions, they spread all over. So we want to spread soul seeds just like that. So when we're in the company of others, we really want to be mindful of the language that we're using with others. Are we edifying? Are we elevating their spirit and celebrating them as person and recognizing their divine gifts and qualities? So being overly critical and stuck in the blame game, and we know most often we talk to ourselves in one way, and we would never talk to the people that we love, our friends and family, in the same way we talk to ourselves. And this internalized, what I call inner critic, it only fuels your feelings of inadequacy and self-loathing. So it really doesn't benefit anybody. So you really want to filter your thoughts through your heart space. The words are mirrors to the soul, and when it comes to body imagery, negative body labels can reflect deep wounds. These deep wounds represent our fears and the stories we hold in our mind. So the action that we need to take is to look at, where's this fear originating? It's our story. So we have the power to change the story. We're the creator of the story. And you may, reframing is a very good tool when you're looking at your story, just how I reframed the dandelion. Some people see it as a weed, but I see it as a beautiful little flower. So it becomes paramount to understand where your beliefs of your distorted body image have evolved. And one way that you can do this is by looking at I have some sentences that I'm going to put up, and you can get an idea of where this inner critic voice is coming from when you look at these sentences. And I'll just ask you in your journals, you can complete the sentence, and it'll give you an idea. Is this something that you've actually heard from somebody, that somebody told you, or have you just implied it to be true? Is it an assumption? And I'll have to tell you, I am so guilty. Assumptions get me in so much trouble. I do a lot of assumptions. You know what they say? We won't say it here, but there's a little thing that goes with that about assumptions. So the first one is everyone wants me to. So you would fill in the blank. Everyone thinks I'm, again, fill in the blank. Everyone expects me to, fill in the blank. Everyone's always telling me. So you can really see in the teen years, especially when you want so badly to belong. And as young women, you know, this is when we begin to censor what we really think and internalize it so that we can, you know, have that connection with our friends and that sense of belonging. And so we can sometimes make up in our minds. And this is where when we come from a place of love and we create that awareness and we share what we're thinking with others, we're able to transcend those barriers that we put up. They're self-imposed barriers. So this will help us to understand where our distorted body image is coming from. So knowledge really does become the key to understanding. With fear, false evidence appears real. That's the acronym for fear, false evidence appearing real. So when we have that knowledge, it helps us to understand, and it eliminates those fears that could be holding us back. So once you're able to unravel the why behind your inner critic's desire to protect, you'll be able to shift your stance from defense and truly listen with heartfelt compassion and forgiveness. And often the voice of the inner critic is the voice of our parent, and it was there initially to protect us and to keep us safe, and it's still intended to do that. But now that we're adults, we can look at this voice with softness and gentleness and curiosity and get to the bottom of it, to pull back the layers and find, do I need to be protected in this circumstance, or is this an opportunity for me to grow? And when you look at your inner critic voice with that compassion, it can become the voice of your inner champion, and you can take risks that you never thought were possible before.